All right. First, we're going to start off with Joe Masato at the Oklahoman. Go ahead, Joe.
Hey, Shai, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing okay. When we talked to Sam earlier this week, he mentioned that these trades, in a way, sort of cleared the path for you to be the guy and the primary option on this team. And I'm just wondering how you're going to embrace that role and how you're looking forward to that this season.
Yeah. Obviously, it's something that I'm excited about. And I think I've worked hard enough to deserve that responsibility and trust from Sam and the rest of the front office, the rest of the coaching staff. But really, I'm just ready to take advantage of the opportunity I've been given. And there's so many opportunities in this game that I've been blessed to have in my first 2 and a little bit of years in the NBA, and I'm just thankful.
Similar to that point, just what was your reaction to the trade, specifically losing Chris, who I know was a pretty big mentor of yours?
Yeah, obviously there's been talks about Chris being on the market. Even when we started last year, I kind of knew the day would eventually come where I don't play with Chris anymore. It just happened sooner rather than later. And honestly, he was great help to me in my second year. I got a brother for life, and like I said, I'm thankful for being his teammate once again. And he's taught me so many things that I'll definitely take forward in the rest of my career.
Thanks.
Thanks, Shane. Next up, we're going to go to Cliff Brent at the Associated Press. Go ahead, Cliff.
Shai, what did you focus on in this shortened offseason? Oftentimes, young guys come back much different physically or with a different skill of some kind, but this was compressed, a shorter offseason. What did you focus on as you prepared for this new role?
Yeah, my biggest thing was getting my body ready for the bigger task at hand in terms of loads and things like that. So I put on a little bit of weight. I got in better shape. Played a little bit more. Just being ready for the opportunity. And I think obviously I have certain skills and just fine tuning those and sharpening those up and then being ready to do it for a full 48 minutes if need be.
Thank you.
Next, we're going to go to Nick Gallo, OKCThunder.com.
Shai, over the last couple of years, just what do you think you've learned defensively, and what do you hope to do, kind of take that next step on that end of the floor this season?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is how much toll it takes on you to play at a high level on both ends of the floor. The greatest players in the games do it, and ultimately that's where I want to get to, so I know I got to do it. But yeah, that's one of the things I focused on in this short little offseason, getting my body ready to be the best that I can be on both ends of the floor.
Next up, Logan Newman, Thunderwire.
I was actually just going to ask that same type of question, so you can pass me. Thanks.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you.
In that case, Alex Roy, go ahead.
Hey, Shai, so much of last year's success was given to the veteran leadership of guys like Chris and Steven Adams. Kind of a two-part question. Can you kind of give me your philosophy on team leadership, and then also maybe how you guys, or the younger guys now, plan to kind of implement your leadership on this team?
You talking about this year or last year?
I'm talking about how you guys are going to implement your leadership on the team this year.
Oh, okay, yeah. So for me personally, obviously being so close and alongside Chris, one of the best leaders to ever play the game, I've picked up a few things. But I think we have such a young group of guys that we can all learn from each other and all get better from each other. And then we also have a few veterans that have been in this league for a long time that know the ins and outs and the do's and the don'ts. So I think, yeah, for the young guys, it'll be like every year learning, getting better, and for the older guys, just guiding us through the process.
Thank you, Shai. Next up, we're going to go to Adam Francisco. Go ahead. Adam, it looks like you're unmuted. Go ahead, Adam. All right, looks like we're having trouble with Adam. Next, we'll go to Julian Malpit. Go ahead.
Yeah, hi Shay. Thank you for being here. I wanted to ask you. I have a very good friend of mine that keeps telling me, the Thunder is gonna shock the world once again. We're gonna defy the odds. So my question is, how do you think OKC is gonna perform this season? You're obviously rebuilding, but this time we have the play-in system. The 10th place can make you go to the playoff. Do you think that you can still be a very good team in this jungle that is the Western Conference?
Yeah, we're all NBA players, just like the rest of the teams. We all run, jump, bleed, breathe the same way that the rest of the teams do. So I don't feel like we're at a huge disadvantage. I think our main focus as a group is just to get better every day, and never be static, never be satisfied, and just always try to get better, like I said. And I think everything else will take care of itself, whether it's the playoffs, whether it's not the playoffs, it doesn't matter. As long as we're getting better, we'll be all right.
Okay, thank you.
Andrew Schleck, go ahead with your question for Shai.
Shai, you got to work with Coach Dagnont last year, and now he's the head coach this year. What are some of the things that he can do to help the development of the team?
Yeah, my biggest thing about Coach Mark, players coach, he's willing to do whatever it is to have a good relationship with his players, make sure his players are comfortable. And coaches like that, ultimately, you want to play for, and you want to play harder for, and you really feel like they're a part of the group. It's not coaches coaching players. You guys feel like one big family. And that's the biggest thing I've noticed with him is he's really hands-on, and he'll be great for us.
All right. Next up, Joe Musata with the Oklahoman. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, Shai, I know, you played point guard throughout high school and in college and in your rookie year, but didn't have the chance to play it much last year. Do you still see yourself as a long-term point guard? And if so, are you excited to be back in that role?
Yeah, I absolutely do. I think that's when I'm most comfortable and at my best, at the point guard position. And I think last year only gave me an opportunity to develop in other areas that I didn't think I needed to, you could say, and prior to my second year in the league. But I just see it as an opportunity that made me better. And ultimately, to win in the NBA, you got to be able to do multiple things: play on the ball, play off the ball. And like I said, last year only made me a better all-around basketball player.
Thanks, Shane. The last question for you here. We're going to go to Ryan Chapman at the franchise. Go ahead, Ryan.
Hey, Shai, Sam and Mark both kind of mentioned that Mark has a vision for every player. Have you been able to kind of talk through what that's going to look like in building this offense around you this season?
Yeah, we spoke briefly about it. Certain things I like to get to in tendencies and stuff like that. I do have a film session with him later today, so we'll talk about it a little bit more. But yeah, I think me and Coach Mark are on the same page, and like I think I can speak for him on this. I think our focus is just me as well as the rest of the team, just to get better every day. I feel like we have so many young guys that right now in our careers we just want to get better and eventually get to that next level, and that's our main focus.
Thank you, Shai. Appreciate your time today.
Thank you.